Before we start, please check out the voice actors for this video, the Shapeshifter and Ray Jericho. Links will be in the description to where to find them. Let's start this on Naboo. A phantom figure approaches Obi-Wan and Qui Gon whilst with Queen Amidala.
We'll handle this,
says Qui Gon, and the duel of the fates begins. The fight is relatively equal. Darth Maul is a formidable opponent for the two Jedi who are struggling to overpower him. Darth Maul begins to torment the Jedi while they're fighting and says,
"Peace is a lie. There is only passion."
The Jedi, when they hear him speak, freeze, but he continues regardless.
"Through passion I gain strength.
As he uses the Force to send Qui Gon flying backwards.
Through strength I gain power.
He boasts as he approaches Obi-Wan with unmatched ferocity.
Through power I gain victory."
He roars as he slashes up Obi-Wan's torso, causing him to collapse lifeless to the ground. Maul turns around and stares at Obi-Wan as he gets up and bellows,
"Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me."
Hey guys, before we continue, we're doing a giveaway for 10,000 subscribers when we reach the milestone. We're giving away a replica Cal Kestis lightsaber from Neosabers, a company that sells high quality and unique lightsabers. All you have to do is like and comment on this video, telling us what you thought of it, and make sure to leave your email or Instagram so we can contact you. You have to be subscribed and go check out Neosabers. Neosabers has a huge range of different lightsabers at all price levels, so there is one for everyone. My favorites are their replica lightsabers from the main characters. The lightsabers can do some cool effects, including blaster fire blocking, drag and melting effect, blade crashing, lightning block, and many more. There are also speakers in some of their lightsabers, which will have characters speaking at you when you least expect it. If you're looking for a lightsaber, please go check out Neosabers, its first link in the description. Back to the video. Qui-Gon stares at Obi-Wan's lifeless corpse.
Obi-Wan,
He mutters in disbelief.
"Your fate has been decided, Jedi. You are next."
He doesn't have time to dwell on his apprentice's death.
you'll pay for that, Sith.
Qui-Gon picks up his lightsaber and charges at Maul, and the two engage in battle. Qui-Gon takes things to the next level and ups his output. Darth Maul matches this, but he wasn't expecting this from the Master.
Your speed is fading, Sith. It's only a matter of time.
"Don't count on it, Jedi."
The battle doesn't last much longer. Qui-Gon's confidence is building as the battle continues. Maul is struggling to keep up and is showing signs of wear. Qui-Gon goes to attack Maul's legs, causing him to leap in the air, but quickly spins around and thrusts his blade into Maul's abdomen, killing him. Qui-Gon rushes to meet with Queen Amidala, and Naboo's victory is assured. Qui-Gon takes Anakin back to the council.
The Sith have returned. The evidence is the recent invasion of Naboo. Our arrogance has made us believe this was impossible. We've become complacent, but the Force has granted us a savior. Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one. You must see it.
He looks around at the Masters, some convinced, others struggling with the idea. Qui-Gon continues.
I will train the boy. I promised to his mother. Do you understand?
The Masters do indeed understand Qui-Gon's mild threat. He is willing to leave the Order if the boy isn't trained. Yoda agrees and allows Qui-Gon to train Anakin. Darth Maul's death and Qui-Gon's survival greatly disrupted Darth Sidious' plans. Firstly, he needs to find a new apprentice, and Qui-Gon is a Jedi with the capability of seeing through his plans. Sidious feels a sense of fear as this goes through his head. He will deal with Qui-Gon, his death is a priority. But first, Sidious must find a new apprentice. He heard from his former Master Plagueis that Count Dooku, former Jedi and at odds with the Republic, had potential to join them. He will start there. Sidious visits Dooku on Sereno. They discuss the state of the Republic and how they both know it's corrupt. Sidious' persuasion attempts to hit Dooku at his sweet spots, discussing how the Jedi have become too connected to the government and the corruption within the Republic has seeded into the Jedi Order. Sidious was good, a master communicator, but Dooku had a grasp at what was happening. Palpatine had sent Sith to kill his former apprentice. He's not a good man. He doesn't want the best for the galaxy, he's attempting to use him. Sidious finally concludes by asking Dooku if he will join him on his mission to cleanse the galaxy of corruption and create peace. Dooku stares intently at the hooded figure calling himself Sidious in front of him, not knowing his true identity as Chancellor Palpatine. Count Dooku tells Palpatine he will consider his proposal, but he's lying to the Sith. He intends to share this information with the Jedi and prevent the Sith from taking control. In the following days, Dooku makes his way to the Jedi Council and informs the Jedi that a Sith Lord by the name of Sidious approached him asking to join his cause. Dooku tells the Jedi he denied the request but out of good faith came to inform them. The council asks Dooku if he will consider rejoining the Order after this revelation, but stands by his ideals that the Republic is corrupt and that he can no longer be a part of it. After weeks go by, Sidious concludes that the Count won't join him. Maybe if his assassination attempts on Qui Gon were successful, he would have joined him. Instead, he must find a replacement to lead the Separatist cause. He approaches San Hill, the leader of the International Banking Clan, close friends of the Sith due to his previous master Darth Plagueis. He proposes the idea of the Separatist movement and promises him power above all else and partial control over the galaxy. He writhes at the idea and agrees to join the Separatist movement. Now a new apprentice must be found. He had success with Maul, his previous apprentice, so paid Mother Talzin a visit and decided on his brother, Savage Opress. Qui-Gon is the perfect master for Anakin. He is not so beholden to the rules like Anakin, making them very similar. Anakin in his early days held a lot of resentment towards Obi-Wan, who felt like he had to train Anakin and didn't fully understand him, contributing to his fall to the dark side. Anakin wouldn't have this resentment towards Qui-Gon, who would empathize with Anakin. Qui-Gon didn't follow the normal Jedi ideals. He understands the importance of attachments, which makes him unpopular amongst other Jedi in the Order. Qui-Gon followed the will of the Force and not the will of the Jedi Council. He did what he believed to be right. He didn't live by a code. He lived in the present and not in the future like the Jedi Council. Believing Anakin to be the chosen one, he would be very careful with his training. Anakin would skip the basic group training that all younglings would have at the temple and only have one-on-ones with Qui-Gon. Palpatine had been voted as Supreme Chancellor and his plans are in motion. 10 years go by and Anakin has learned a lot about the living force from Qui-Gon, the father he never had. Qui-Gon drills into Anakin the importance of focusing on the present, in which he always has, relying on one's instincts becoming second nature to Anakin. He already does this in flying and is one of the best in the galaxy. The Jedi's search for the Sith hiding in the shadows continue, but with Dooku's help they concluded that Maul was the apprentice and the Master is still alive. Palpatine hasn't forgotten about Qui-Gon, the Jedi he fears most. He has another reason to want him dead now, Anakin Skywalker, the apparent chosen one. Palpatine tried to have Qui-Gon killed for many years, but failed to do so. Feeling desperate, he decides to send Savage Opress to take him out. Senator Padme has had various attempts on her life, due to her opposing the Military Creation Act that favors Palpatine. Anakin, a now mature Jedi, is sent to protect her on her journey back to Naboo. Anakin has left Qui-Gon's side as his apprentice and is now a Jedi Knight, but still confides in Qui-Gon as they usually stick together. Before Anakin goes, he admits to Qui-Gon his feelings for Padme and how he has thought about her every day for the last 10 years. Qui-Gon tells Anakin that he knows and senses it whenever her name is brought up. Qui-Gon tells Anakin to embrace these feelings, despite what the Council thinks. Anakin goes to protect Padme and the two fall in love. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon and Quinlan Vos are sent to Onderon to settle a minor conflict. However, this was a trap. As soon as they land, they sensed something was wrong. No one was there to greet them. This isn't what they were expecting. Out of the shadows walked Savage Opress, who ignites his double-bladed lightsaber and starts walking towards the Jedi in total confidence.
Welcome, Jedi. I've been expecting you.
The two Jedi ignite their blades and stand ready.
What is that?
Says Vos.
I don't know, but I sense the dark side.
Replies Jinn. Savage pulls down his hood to reveal the horns of a Zabrak, and Qui-Gon instantly gets flashbacks of Maul.
Be wary, Quinlan. We don't know what we're up against.
We'll handle him together.
The three engage in combat, Savage's double blade proving efficient against the two enemies. The fight seems evenly matched until Savage leaps into the air and crashes to the ground. This forces both Jedi back, and whilst in the air, he pounces on Quinlan Vos, using his brute strength to overcome the Jedi and slices him in half. Qui-Gon watches it unfold, but there's nothing he can do about it. Savage instantly turns his attention to Qui-Gon, and the two battle ferociously. Qui-Gon notices an opening and slices Savage's lightsaber in half, rendering him left with only a single blade. The fight continues and Savage isn't as skilled with a single blade. He begins to struggle and they can both sense it. Qui-Gon sends Savage flying back with a forced push and he crashes into a distant wall. Savage cuts his losses and runs to his ship to escape. Qui-Gon quickly grabs Vos's body and he heads to follow Savage. He follows the Sith apprentice all the way to Geonosis and exits his ship. He appears to enter one of the underground cities. Qui-Gon explores and notices the production of thousands and thousands of droids. He gets a little caught up in what he's seeing and doesn't notice two guards sneak up behind him. He quickly turns but gets knocked unconscious by one of the guards. He wakes up tied to a chair, with the Knight brother Savage Opress in front of him.
You've done well to track me here, Jedi. I'm impressed, but your efforts are futile.
Savage applauds his ability to track him but tells Qui-Gon it will be the last thing to do.
I was sent to kill you, but you've made my job easy.
Qui-Gon wants to keep the conversation going longer as he attempts to untie himself.
You will never win. The Jedi Order is too large.
Oh, how wrong you are, Jedi. The Sith have control of both the Republic and the Separatists. There is nothing you can do. The Jedi are too blind to see it.
Qui-Gon is visibly shocked after hearing this and doesn't know what to say. He quickly frees himself from the chair and uses the Force to quick Savage across the hall and make his escape. Meanwhile, Anakin begins to dream of his mother dying on Tatooine. He calls out to Qui-Gon immediately to tell him and asks him what to do. Qui-Gon had just told the council about what he'd learned from Savage and heads to Anakin on Naboo. Together they head to Tatooine and Padme agrees to go with them. Luckily they act on one of Anakin's early dreams and manage to get to the Tusken Raiders village while Shmi is still alive. Anakin is visibly angry with the Tusken Raiders and Qui-Gon notices this, but lets Anakin make the decision. With Qui-Gon's training, he has taught Anakin to deal with emotional pain, and because of this, he doesn't give into the anger he feels towards the Tuskens. They head back to Shmi and Clegg's home to share a nice meal. When they return to Coruscant, they are met with dire news. They are met with a message from San Hill, the leader of the Separatist movement declaring war on the Republic. The council is in session, and they're currently discussing the matter. This is when Sifo Dyas reveals to the Jedi Council that he ordered the creation of a clone army 10 years ago when he sensed a future conflict. The Masters are shocked and tell Dyas they will deal with him later, but their priority is to send members to receive the army and inform the Chancellor. When Palpatine hears this, he is beyond shocked. He was planning on overthrowing the Jedi through brute force. They couldn't defeat his joint army and would be forced to fight them, but now they have their own army to fight back with. This initially troubles Sidious, but now he can use the conflict to corrupt the Jedi with the dark side, and with his position as Chancellor, he can ensure the conflict goes along for as long as possible. The Clone War has begun, and the Jedi Council has made the decision to lead the Grand Army of the Republic. Qui-Gon obviously disagrees with this decision, but for the sake of the Republic that he still believes in, he agrees to partake. Anakin gets married to Padme, and confides in Qui-Gon about this. He has taught him all his life about the importance of attachments and love. Qui-Gon goes to the wedding and believes that the will of the Force for Anakin, the chosen one to experience the good and light that comes with unconditional love. Over a year passes and Qui-Gon has had an epiphany. He is the only Jedi other than Anakin that focuses on the present rather than worry and fear about the future. He thinks about their current situation. Savage claims the Sith are in control of the Republic. That can only mean two things. Savage also told him that Darth Sidious specifically wants him dead and has ordered plenty of assassination attempts on him. He tries to think of why, and the only reason he can think is because he is Anakin, the Chosen One's master. Who is Anakin close to? Palpatine, the man in charge of the Republic. Qui-Gon is shocked by his own thoughts, but is also convinced that Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. He goes straight to the council and brings Anakin with him.
What are we doing here, Master?
Anakin asks, but Qui-Gon simply tells him to keep an open mind. Yoda asks Qui-Gon what the meaning of their visit is, and he begins his speech.
I have come to the conclusion. Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. First, Savage Opress revealed the Sith are in control of the Republic. Second, countless assassination attempts have been made on me, and I think it's because I am the Chosen One's master, and he wants him for himself. There is a reason Palpatine latched onto Anakin when he first arrived at Coruscant. He wishes to kill me, so he can groom him to become his new apprentice. I'm sure of it. The Force has granted me this insight.
He left the council absolutely speechless. Yoda acknowledges it's a convincing argument, but lacks substantial proof. Anakin, also shocked in his own mind, shows his maturity by saying,
Masters, there is a way we could get proof. We can confront him directly, use our combined strength to determine whether he is lying or telling the truth. I believe, if we focus our energy together, we can reveal the truth.
The Masters look around and nod in agreement with Anakin's plan. Anakin is the Chosen One and is making his move. A few members of the council had business with Palpatine the next day, but instead, every member of the council plus Anakin and Qui-Gon make their way to his office. This next meeting will be of utmost importance. Palpatine senses numerous Jedi making their way towards him, making him feel uneasy and unsettled. The Jedi sense this when they arrive but don't say anything. Anakin takes the lead.
Palpatine, we've received some troubling news that states you are the Sith Lord the Jedi have been looking for. Is that true?
Palpatine knows he's been backed into a corner. The reason they've all come is to sense whether he's telling the truth and feel the dark side within him. Palpatine panics and lets the silence go on for too long, which tells the Jedi all they need to know. He tells the Jedi he's not, but they all sense that he's lying. He ignites a ray shield which captures most Jedi except a few. He attempts to dash away and sends lightning at the Jedi. Yoda blocks, but Sidious is too fast and jumps out of the window. Anakin in his youth follows at tremendous speed in close pursuit. As he jumps out, he sees Sidious ahead of him, lightsaber ignited. Sidious turns around mid-air to send lightning at Anakin, who quickly whips out his lightsaber and blocks, and then advances towards Sidious. Sidious presses something on his wrist and Anakin takes notice of this. Anakin is traveling faster in the air. He kicks Sidious square in the chest and grabs onto him. A speeder comes directly to where they're flying. Sidious called it moments ago from his wrist's comlink. Anakin and Sidious both land in together and begin exchanging blows with their lightsabers. Anakin catches Sidious's hand before he can strike and headbutts his nose, breaking it. This causes Sidious to stumble back, and ultimately Anakin rips the lightsaber out of his hand. Anakin looks at Sidious, who has blood trickling down his entire face. He goes to send lightning at Anakin, but he's too fast. He thrusts both his and Sidious's lightsaber towards him, piercing his chest and ending the Sith Lord. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Don't forget to enter our lightsaber giveaway and check out Neosabers in the description. Let me know what you think will happen in part 2.